Baruch Shehachayanu Kiyomanu V'Higyanu Lazman Hazeh. It is my honor, my pleasure, and honestly something I've been looking forward to for 8 years, to welcome you to the commencement exercises of the first graduating class of Yeshiva New Jersey Shore. In just a moment, the graduates will be entering. Before they do, I want to take a moment to thank all those present and not present who made this day possible. It would be impossible for me to mention everybody by name. I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the people who made a huge difference, especially in the early days, a little later. But I particularly want to note the presence of 3 very, very important groups of people. First and foremost, because they were chronologically the first ones to call. The people who have paid jobs that they do during the day, but sometimes they spend more time working for the school than they do on their own jobs. I won't tell their bosses if you know. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the members of the Board of Directors. It is my pleasure to work with them on a regular basis, and I assure you that not every head of school can honestly say, as I do, that it is a pleasure to work with my people. The second group of people, without whom the school would simply not exist, is the dedicated men and women who spend all day and frequently all their nights thinking about, planning for, and caring for our children. I would like to ask, and they're not going to be happy with me, but I'd like to ask you to please stand, members of the faculty. Graduation, and so I want to make particular note of a very important member of the faculty who's not in here because she's out there, our middle school coordinator, Mrs. Scalise. And finally, the third group of people who are making this all possible are the group for whom this is all done. And that is the children. We've said from the very beginning, it's all about the kids. And so I'd like to ask, as a representative of all the students, past and present and future, I would like to ask our alumni, who are in 100% attendance today, to please stand. Robert Samuel Craig. Just a couple of seconds as the only alumni. Because your classmates are about to join you. evening, the school's been blessed with great community support, and I want to particularly acknowledge some of our community leaders who have joined us here this evening. First of all, our host, the Rabbi of the Congregation of Brothers Israel, Rabbi Sam Braun. The Rabbi on our other partner synagogue in Israel of East Brunswick, Rabbi Jay Weinstein. Our colleague from the Elon High School, Rabbi Jacobowitz. And our colleague from the Hillel Yeshiva High School, Maisy Sultan. I also want to particularly note the presence of two of our original consultants from the consulting team that helped the original founding board come up with the vision for this school, Stanley Fishman and Peggy Fishman. We have continued to grow, and as you just heard me say a moment ago, we are now officially partners with really 2 shuls and 2 communities, and we serve 3 communities, a couple others. But it all started right here. And to greet us with an invocation and to get our program started, I'd like to call upon Rabbi Braun, who was instrumental in the founding of the school and continues to be a driving force behind our moving forward every day. The Vice President of the Board of Directors and Rabbi of the Congregation of Brothers of Israel, Rabbi Braun. Oh, and the parent of 2 of our graduates. Stash my speech in there. So. When we started this journey, my 2 children, Avi and Toba, comprise 50% of the student body. It's gratifying to think that now they're probably certainly less than 6%, maybe less than 5%. It really is amazing to see how the community and the school have grown together. I wanted to just share a very quick thought and really a wish, because I'm not a blessing kind of rabbi, but a wish to our graduates. Just a message about dreams. The Talmud in Brachot, a tractate that deals with the laws of blessings, has 3 fascinating statements. The first is that anyone who doesn't have a dream each week is considered an evil person. And when I first saw that, it was somewhat striking because I don't remember any of my dreams. It also seemed odd that we should judge a person's character by whether or not they happen to remember their dreams. And the rationalist in me would argue that the Talmud is trying to teach us as follows. If you live your life without dreaming, without ideals, without aspirations, it's not a life worth living. And if you don't revisit those ideals, if you don't think about them, maybe not once a week, but on a regular basis, if you don't try and see if you're living up to your ideals and continue to aspire, then that's not a life that God wants us to live. The second statement, which I think speaks to many of the parents and certainly the board members and the staff here, the Gemara says as follows, that our dreams are from Hirurei Libeinu. They are from the murmurings of our heart. That our dreams and our aspirations are simply manifestations of what we believe in our core, what we have deep inside of us. Those come out in our dreams. And that we have to think about those visions, those ideals, we're meant to revisit, maybe on a daily basis, if not a weekly, or some consistent measure. We need to think about those ideals. And the last thing the Gemara tells us is, it's not enough just to think about the ideals. The very end of the page, the Gemara says that it is our mouth, it is the expression we give, it's how we interpret the dreams that will actually give them meaning.
You can't just think about the ideals, you have to talk about them, you have to do them, and that will bring the vision, the dream to reality. When I stand here today and think about the last 8 years, I simply, it's hard to believe that the dream that a committed group of people had, a community had, to create a school and grow a school, has come to fruition. That was a dream that was from here, Hooray Libeno, it was from deep within our hearts. The ideals upon which the school is founded are our ideals, that we believe in them deeply, and we try and live those ideals. And we built the school from literally here, Hooray Libeno, from inside of our hearts. And not only do we think about it, but people put all of their heart and soul into it, their mouths, their hands, and you see the unbelievable result that we have today. In addition to this being a day where communal dreams are realized, for many of us here, certainly for the graduates, I'm sure I speak for all the parents and probably the proud grandparents as well, this is another kind of dream that we're also seeing come to fruition. It's the dream that we dream for our children. And I think there too, the school has tried, and we at home have tried, to raise you on those ideals of Jewish knowledge and secular knowledge around Israel, being people, commitment to America, all of those things that we've tried to teach you at home and that the school has tried to teach you as well. We hope that you have put those into your hearts and that your future visions, your dreams, your aspirations will all be built on the foundation that the school and your homes have given you. If I would end with one communal wish, it's that you should continue to live lives of aspiration. Every week, all the time, think about what you want to do, have tremendous ideals, vision, and aspiration. And please God, everything that we wish for you and you wish for yourselves should come true. Mazel tov.
It is not an accident that some of my dearest friends in this world have been my board presidents. Now, not all of my board presidents are necessarily on the list, but several of them are. I was blessed when I first arrived here to work with Sidney Lee Cash, who was an outstanding person, and with whom I shared an instant bond. And together we worked hand in hand with the faculty, and the board, the parents, and the community in building the school. A few years ago, Sid handed over the mantle to Lisa Shapiro, who too sort of was already, but became one of my dearest friends. Lisa is probably the person I speak to most often after my wife, and it's pretty close. And without whom, the school certainly would not exist and would not be able to continue to grow and thrive. It is my pleasure to introduce to you President of the Board of Directors of Yeshiva New Jersey Shore and parent of our graduates, Lisa Shapiro.
Rabbi Tuckman, Ron, parents, faculty, esteemed family and friends. It is an honor for me to be here tonight and bring greetings and mazel tov from the school group. A song written by Ryan Tedder of One Republic is a love letter to his son upon his birth in 2010, and it sums up perfectly my wishes for this class. Hope when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you spend your days and they all add up. When the sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived. This class is very special to me, and I will miss them next year. And as they don't say in Hollywood, in backwards order of appearance, Ruby Kushner. I remember you on the first day of YJS, and here you are on your last day of YJS. I will always appreciate you and your laugh. Dove Tuckman. Dove, you're so friendly and warm, and I wish everyone had your enthusiasm. And if I could bottle and sell your energy, our fundraising committee would have an easier time. Simcha Shrub. Simcha, you are a very unique young man, and I will miss your sense of humor and good jokes you shared with me. You always brought me home. Abiel Fradkin. Abiel, you're a very impressive young man. And I will miss walking through the halls of the school and not hearing your salute with, "I am his mom!" And before you leave the school, please promise me you will train a child in next year's 4th grade to greet me with, "Hey, Bryn's mom!" Yitzi Shelton. Yitzi, I will miss your smile. Or is it a grin? Maybe just a smirk. No matter. I really appreciate your easygoing attitude and how you always manage to keep calm and carry on. Yosef Friedman. You are the school's first student from Highland Park, and I have fond memories of meeting you at the first Shabbaton. I enjoy listening to what you have to say, even if you're saying it so fast I can't understand you. Avi Braun. I can't believe that we're in a sanctuary together and you're not throwing candy. Avi, you are a special person for many special reasons, and you will always hold a special place in my heart. Tova Braun. Tova, I always enjoy seeing you at YJS, especially, the few times that you complimented my outfits. And coming from you, that's praise from a high authority. Tova, keep your special spark and always share it with others. Amy Shapiro. I would like to say that I missed you. But it is the school that was. Before there was a classroom, a teacher, or a head of school, there was a student, and everyone knows it. And so to the class of 2014, who are not only wonderful men and women, but also friends that I will cherish. Left the thought. Go forth. Be like our Father Abraham. Listen to your hearts and listen to Hashem. Amass great wealth and perhaps become a leader of a great nation.
More than 10 years ago, Rabbi Roth, the rabbi of the Congregation Brothers of Israel, had a dream. Some might say a crazy dream. That the Ashkenazi minority would start a school. Some other people, like Sid and Judy Lekash, and Andy Michelle Samuel, and others, one by one, slowly bought into this dream. And they put together a steering committee. And then they brought in a new rabbi. And the Rebbeinu jumped on board. And that group had the audacious idea to actually build a school. But they said, we don't want to build any school. We want to build the best school. And so we brought in some consultants. And they said to the consultants, how do you start school? And the consultant said, well, what do you want? You got to think about it. What do you want? When you look into the future, what do your graduates look like? And they came up with a list. They came up with a list. And I stand here proudly telling you, this was their list. Everything they wanted. Excellence in Judaic studies, excellence in general studies. Clear, independent thinkers who aren't afraid to challenge when they think something is wrong. Check, check, and check. Love of Israel? Check. Fluency in Hebrew? Check. Love of Torah and Judaism? Check. The skills to carry that love forward into future learning? Check, check, and check. So they had this vision, this beautiful vision. And they just needed somebody to run with it and to build it. At the time, I was working on my doctorate at Nazarene Graduate School, and I was supervising student teachers, about 14 different schools around the country. And Scott Goldberg, who is the third member of the consulting team, who sent his congratulations but wasn't able to join us tonight, who is also a professor at Azrieli, made the shit up. He said, you know, Ellie, those people down in Deal, I know it's over. He thought it was Deal. Those people down in Deal, they're building a school, they want to build a school, and their vision is the same as yours. What they want to build, that's what you do. It's what you built in Oakland, over in New Jersey. And so, I came down and met with the people. We had some really interesting meetings. And the shidduch was made. And I took the job. And I went back, to Azrieli, and I was talking to my colleagues, and told them that I had accepted a new position as the head of school, of a new school. People didn't get the new school part. They thought new to me. And so my previous school had over 400 students. And so, people asked me, oh, so this new school that you've joined, how many students are there? One. Because at that point, it's sustaining. They didn't know what to make of that. Of course, those one shortly became 3, and then 4, and we opened the school with 4 students. And it's truly, truly been a labor of love. I'm on the Baptist pictures, same as you guys are, and I remember sitting on the floor with you reading in 1st grade. And I remember meeting at the door on the first day. And I treasure all of those times we spent together. Going from the first days all the way through Boston, with a few stops. Whether it was visiting the USS Constitution or learning about the US Constitution. Whether it was teaching you Mishnah class, or whether it was learning Mishnah in restaurants in 2 different cities. climbing on desks. I still don't know why you guys think I'm a double Chazal. I don't even see the similarity. And all good things must come to an end. There's something very, very, very special about being in first class. It's something that will stay with you forever. And I'm glad I got to share it with you. And that brings us to today. This week's parsha, Hashem tells Moshe to send messengers, spies, investigators, to scout out the land. And he uses an interesting word. He says, Shlach lecha anashim. Send for yourself anashim. Now the word ish in the Torah doesn't usually mean man. It usually means people of stature, people of importance. And Chazal explained that Hashem was telling Moshe, you know, you're giving them a very challenging job. You can't just send people out into the world. You have to make sure that they are prepared. You have to make sure that they are people of importance and of stature and of qualification. And the Torah reassures us, Kulam Anashim, Roshei B'nai Yisrael Himam. They were all men of stature, men of importance, men qualified to do the job. In some ways, I feel that this charge that Hashem gave Moshe falls equally upon us. We've spent 8, 9, 10 years building this school. And now we're ready to set our product loose upon the universe. Well, Shlach lecha anashim. We cannot just send out anybody. We need to make sure that they are prepared, that they are young men and women of stature, of training, of importance, of quality. Friends, I can tell you, no fears. I can testify before you, Kulam Anashim. They are all individuals of stature, of importance, of quality. And they are prepared. And they are prepared for the world outside the walls of YTS. But graduates, there's one more piece. Despite the preparation, 10 of the 12 spies failed. Only 2 succeeded. And you see, here's the reason. Because 10 of them said, Lo nuchal la'alos. It's too hard. We can't do it. It's too big. There are giants. We feel like grasshoppers. It's too much. Those people were wrong. The Torah already told us they were men of stature, men of quality, men of quality. They could have done it. They only didn't believe in themselves. However, Kalev and Yehoshua, They were anashim, and they said, Alo na'aleh v'yarashnu ki yachol nuchalna. Let's go get it, because we can. We can do it. Let's go do it. And so I'm telling you today, your education has prepared you for everything you will face. You have a top-notch education. You have the ability, you have the skills, you have the desire, and you have the love. All that is required is for you to get out there and say, Alona Alena V'yarashnu. Let's go get it. Ki yachol nuchalna. We can. 9 graduates who have fulfilled the requirements presented to them by the faculty, and I request that you confer upon them their diplomas. Ruby Kushner.
Smile.
Abiel Fred. Amy Shapiro. Tova Braun. Avi Braun. Yitzi Shoben. Yosef Friedman. Simcha Shrom. Joe Tucker. Congratulations, class of 2014. Please don't sit.
Before we have the recessional, I want to recognize two additional people. First of all, the Executive Director of the Jewish Federation of Greater Monmouth County, Steve Kubitsky. And another person who's going to be very unhappy that I singled her out. But the editor of these videos and the person who makes everything actually happen in Yeshivat the Jersey Shore, my assistant Leah Master. God without further ado, graduates, would you please rise? Excuse me. Alumni, will you please rise?
Lovely.